ladies and gentlemen, Peg Leg. That was the name of the game that was on the Apple Mac, the space shooter game. I looked it up on YouTube and I finally found it at last. I finally found it. There we go. My words slurring a bit. Whoops. New blinds today. New blinds. No more of those curtains. Today, well, who remembers Demo 1 on the PlayStation? Yeah, it was a demo disc. One day, what happened was me and my sister, it was half term, and we were in my dad's office, and he found a PlayStation somewhere, and he introduced us to it, and with that demo disc, Demo 1, and me and my sister got our first taste of console gaming. So, those who don't know, demo discs are just a CD with a collection of like one level from a selection of PS1 games. So, I'll give you some examples. Die Hard Trilogy. The demo disc, Demo 1, contained the first level of the Die Hard 2 scenario in the Washington airport. And Tekken 2, you had a choice of playing as either Lei or Jin's mum, June I think her name was. And you could go up against like Heihachi or Yoshimitsu, and that's it. That was it. A slightly inferior game called Battle Arena Toshiden, I think is what it was called, and you had options between characters called Chaos and some old man, some girl fairy or something. If you know more about it, let me know. But yeah, what happened was it was one controller, one PlayStation, one demo disc, and me and my sister would take turns to play a game, and I would usually choose the Formula One game based on the 1995 season, and my sister would choose the first Crash Bandicoot game. And I remember the Formula One game. I remember Murray Walker saying, "It's the Grand Prix of Europe at the Nürburgring, round 14 of the championship." That phrase stuck with me. And it literally was Nürburgring. You could pick any car whatsoever. There was a noticeable difference between most of the cars and the back markers, such as Simtek and Pacific. They definitely handled differently. If you picked the Benetton, you'd be put in second. If you picked anything else, you'd be even 14th. But if you picked one of the back markers, like 40 or Pacific, you'd be in 15th for some reason. Honestly, I think 40... the idea of 40 being 15th on a qualifying grid is it's a little too much for them to hope for. Realism. Speaking of not realism, do you remember the engine sounds in that game? I'm a Formula E fan, so I'm not bothered about the engine sounds too much, but this is me, someone who enjoys Formula E, saying the Formula 1 engine sounds in that game are horrible. They sounded like dying seagulls. They did not sound like cars. It certainly didn't sound like V10 engines. But yeah, a great game. Nürburgring, I know that track off by heart now, although they did change, after the Pedro Diniz flip in 1999, they did change the first corner, didn't they? The first chicane. And that's the only change that I think the track's and of course that second to last corner, which is the chicane, which the GT cars use a very different version of the chicane. It's a slightly less tight version. If you know ACC, you know what I'm talking about. Demo 1, that disc, that soundtrack, I'd say is the soundtrack of me and my sister's childhood. I mean, the sound effects were perfect. The layout is perfect. The instrumental of it is perfect. And and that was our first taste of console gaming. I'm trying to remember some of the other things. I said Die Hard Trilogy was on there. I said Tekken was on there. Tekken 2. I said Crash Bandicoot was on there. Battle Arena Toshiden there were some not. Oh, and Wipeout 2097. I got one really good level on there. That was great. That was another really great game. Then there were some not particularly good games. There was what was that one that I really never really Ridge Racer Revolution. I mean, how do you even control those cars? I mean, you're either going to stay at full speed and crash into a barrier, or you're going to even just lift off the throttle or brake slightly, and your car's going to go, well, not even sideways. Like it does like a it does like it doesn't even like do a 45-degree angle. It's like Driver. It does like a 70-degree angle turn, and it ends up costing you more time. I mean, if anyone has ever played Ridge Racer Revolution and knows how to do the cornering and that, let me know. And then there was a video for Destruction Derby 2. I can't remember any of the other games on there, but that was. But yeah, that and Demo One also had that weird exhibition where you could control a dolphin or a whale or something, and then you could control a dinosaur. And at the time, it looked amazing, but it doesn't look so impressive by today's standards. So yeah, that was Demo One. It occurs to me that many people younger than me will have no experience of what a demo disc actually is, but they were amazing. They were absolutely fantastic. So next time I'll talk about when I actually got a PlayStation, or me and my sister got a PlayStation for Christmas as a shared present. And I'll talk about some of the games that I started out with. But I think before that, I might also talk about some of the games we rented as well, because there was a gaming rental shop, and it was a weekly thing. It was a weekly thing for our family. We had a game a week. I would have one week, my sister would have one another week, and I'll talk a little bit about that next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.